Aloha beer lovers, and welcome to another episode. Today, I'm in Oahu with my friend Trey, and we're checking out some breweries. In this episode, we're checking out Hana Koa. So if you're ready, stay tuned. Hey beer lovers, welcome back to another episode. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Trey.
And I'm in Oahu visiting Trey and his wife and his brand new baby Golden. And we decided that we're gonna hit up some breweries while I'm out here. And the first stop on our trip is Hana Koa Brewing. So if you're ready, let's have some beer.
My name is Chrissy Pinney. I am technically the Director of Operations, also founder of Hana Koa Brewing. So Hana Koa started because my husband and I, back then, my boyfriend, we were living in the Bay Area, and I was a sales rep for a pretty large brewery, and he was a head brewer of a smaller brewery, and just living the dream beer couple life. And his dad had acquired a warehouse and was going to turn it into a parking garage for another business that he has. And jokingly, Josh, my then boyfriend, was like, well, what if you did something cool with it and made it a brewery? And it was just a joke, something he said in passing, and then he called him back and was like, well, what if we did? And then the ball started getting rolling, and I broke my rule where I'm never going to get in business with a significant other. Instead, I was like, well, I can't pass this opportunity up, so here we go. We're along for the ride. Ooh, beers that we specialize in. We do a lot of hazies because that's in demand. Josh's secret pleasure is lagers, and Heineken is king in the land of Hawaii, so it's kind of a bridge for that. It's a way for us to educate the customer on craft lagers. And nothing against Heineken, they make great, consistent beer, but we wanted to put our mark with lagers. We do some really crazy stuff too that's not traditional. We'll do, like, Unicorn Butt Sneeze was a collab with a local donut shop. Yeah, I said Unicorn Butt Sneeze. That one was with Meyer Lemon and hundreds of pounds of fruity. Yeah, we'll get weird with beers and do fun things. Throwing donuts into beers, Oreos, weird stuff, but we also respect tradition and where those styles came from and try to show that we can do both. We can have fun, but we can also work hard and do it right. My solid go-to beer after a long day has always been Rooftop. If we have La Hacienda, seasonal, we do it every once in a while, I'll have that. But Rooftop is king for me. Long story short, Josh and I, at the end of my work days in the Bay Area, I would have beers, pale ales up on my rooftop, like workaholic style. And we would just sit there drinking beers on a rooftop. We later got married on a rooftop, and I'm gonna cut out all the crying, please. But yeah, it's kind of part of our love story. We have it part of training, where at the end of one of the training days, we'll have everybody enjoy rooftop on our rooftop. And it kind of brings it back to center. Hana Koa's food program is pretty diverse. We have tonkatsu ramen. We have a smoked marlin bruschetta. We also have onion rings, but they're not your typical onion rings. They're basically a sweet Maui onion style that's pickled and then battered, of course, in beer. We do have nice bar food that goes well with beer, but we do have food that honestly I'll have with wine. It really depends on which plate you're picking. Personally, I've been on the spicy kimchi shrimp kick. It's our garlic shrimp, but we add a little bit of spice and house kimchi. It's awesome. If people are coming to Oahu, I think that coming to Hana Koa will show a little bit of diversity in our tap list. We also stand for lots of local initiatives, local charities, things that matter deeply to us. And you kind of get a taste of that here. I also believe we have a stellar staff that just has such a great attitude, and this place wouldn't be what it is without them. But another reason is that we're kind of a part of a really nice brewery crawl, where you've got Aloha Beer Co. down the street, you have Waikiki's Kakako location, you have Honolulu Beer Works. If you want to branch out further, a quick Uber ride will take you to Broken Boundary, Beer Labs, University location. There's a lot in this area that's also off the beaten path of Waikiki. So if you want to get away from the tourists and you want to get away from, the typical, the beer scene will give that to you. If you're in Oahu, come on down. We will get you some good beer, we'll get you some good food, and we'll give you a taste of that aloha.
Well guys, we're starting off our beer reviews with a hard seltzer. You heard that right, a hard seltzer. I know I'm not one that boasts about hard seltzers, not really my thing. However, this is a very unique style hard seltzer I don't think you would get in the States. This also has a really funny name. It's called Ghost Ride the Drip. It's a 5.3% hard seltzer, and it's actually brewed with ube powder, which is a sweet potato, right? Purple sweet potato? Purple sweet potato. Sounds really interesting. As Trey and I walked into the tasting room, we saw people drinking this purple drink, and we were like, what the heck is this? So yeah, it's ube, it's a sweet potato. Never tried it, so sounds interesting. Let's dig in. Ooh. What a fun, unique flavor. I think sweet potato, and I'm thinking yams, and it's definitely like a fruitier kind of flavor to it. This reminds me a little bit of like high C when you were a kid, but it's not super sweet, but you get the sweetness from the fruit in it. It's super refreshing. It's really, really light. Yeah, there's a local brewery where I live that makes a very popular hard seltzer, and I know a lot of people that love that hard seltzer. I would love to bring some of this back home to them because I think they would find a new favorite. And I mean, again, guys, the color, it's unreal. So, hey, Jeff likes a hard seltzer. Sure, I'll take it.
All right, guys, so up next we have Break Time Blonde. It is a 4.2% ABV, and it is a blonde ale. It looks really refreshing, so I'm really excited about this. I've never had a bad beer at Hana Koa, so let's keep the streak going. Oh yeah, very light, very refreshing. I'm getting a little bit of like lemon zest, orange zest. It's a great summer beer. It obviously looks great as well. Getting big lemon, a little bit of lime, a little bit of orange, very citrusy, very refreshing. This is a great beer. I mean, you can go to any football game, you can go to a UH game and pound like probably 10 of these and still be feeling pretty good. So Break Time Blonde, it's really good.
All right, so my next beer up is a fun one. It's called Party Boy Pills. This is a 4.2% Japanese rice lager that was actually brewed in collaboration with the Rice Factory, which is right down the street. Now, I'm a huge fan of rice lagers. You guys should know that by now. So I'm really excited to try this. By the way, the whole Party Boy Pills idea, that name, came from the fact that some of the folks here at the brewery used to like to get kind of messed up and listen to really silly Euro trash music and dance around, just like Party Boy from Jackass. Don't worry, I will keep my pants on for this review, promise. Cheers. Oh. Yep. Guys, there's just something about rice lagers. It creates this like softer, silkier mouthfeel while still maintaining a nice, crisp, light, bright finish. It's not overly sweet. It's not, flavorless. It's just, I don't know. It's just a beautiful blend. This is like a crusher, too. 4.2%, guys, 4.2%. Just think about that for a minute, because I know most of you guys are crushing like triple IPAs nowadays at like 10%. Think of how many of these you could drink on a hot summer day and not get too trashed. That's amazing, and it tastes delicious. This is wonderful.
All right, guys, so up next we have Yeah You. Sorry if I'm butchering that, but it is a West Coast style IPA. So I'm really excited for this. I love my West Coast style IPAs. I mean, that's actually where Jeff and I met. So let's just go ahead and dive into it. It is actually a 6.4% as well. So not huge, but I'm really excited. So let's see what it's got going on. So right on the nose, orange peel, getting that citrusy zest. Oh yeah, a lot of pine, big citrus, a little bit of bitterness, obviously, and at a 6.4%, it's pretty crushable for a West Coast style IPA. It looks great as well. It's very attractive, and I already know Jeff is probably going to have like 20 of these. It's really good. So yeah, no complaints.
All right, guys, so this next beer, I'm kind of cheating because I actually got to have this beer last night. Trey was kind enough to pick up some cans of this, and we cracked one open last night as my first official beer on Oahu. This is called Piña Hoplata. It is a 6.7% IPA, and it is brewed with toasted coconut, guys. I love coconut. I love pineapple. I love tropical flavors. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to come here and try all this amazing beer. I'm just gonna drink it and tell you guys how good it tastes, because I already know how good it tastes. So here we go. Cheers. Oh. There's a lot of hazy IPAs out there. A lot of times these beers can start to feel a little redundant. Typically hazy beers are using a lot of the same hop varietals and things like that. Just to give you an example, Monkish. I love Monkish. Their beers are amazing. But if you've had one Monkish, you've kind of had them all. This stands out on its own, 100%. This toasted coconut flavor is just dialed into perfection. It's not overdone to where you just feel like you're drinking coconut juice. It's subtle, but it's enough to tell you that it's more than just your stereotypical IPA. It blends really well with the hops. You're getting a little bit of that pineapple in there as well. Somebody who maybe isn't a beer fan, this would be a great intro beer to have them try. It's got a just nice silky mouthfeel to it. It's not heavy to where if you had a couple beers, you would be full. I feel like I could probably drink a 4-pack and be just fine. I might be a little intoxicated, but I would be just fine. You know, in SoCal, there's been a new craze where they're making beers into slushies and beers into soft serve ice cream, and just the taste of this alone makes me want to try it in those forms as well. The cool thing is as delicious and delectable this is, it's not super sweet. Like, I know you're probably hearing coconut and you're thinking it's just like a dessert bomb. There's no lactose in this. It's not overly sweet. It's very well balanced, and that coconut, man, it's just, it's rich. It's like they pulled them fresh from the trees, threw them in an oven, threw them in the beer, and here we are. This is, I mean, I don't know. I'm guessing they have like some staple beers, but this one should be on rotation year round. This is just wonderful.
All right, guys, so up next we have Dude, Where's My Dino? It is a hazy IPA coming in at 6.6%. Looks really nice, looks really opaque. This beer does have a pretty cool story. So obviously Hana Koa is a massive brewery here in Kaka'ako. It used to be an old warehouse, and I guess while they were constructing it, one of the workers here, literally, they had a bunch of dinosaurs, like the little toy Etch-a-Sketch dinosaurs, and he hid them throughout the brewery, and people would find them constantly and move them around, and that's kind of where they came up with the name Dude, Where's My Dino? So pretty cool backstory. Looks like a really great beer, 6.6%. So let's go ahead and dive into it. I mean, it just smells tropical. Like, it feels like I'm in Fiji right now. I mean, we're in Hawaii, obviously, but it's very tropical, you know, lots of fruit, very aromatic. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Oh. I'm getting papaya, getting mango, a little bit of peach in there as well. Obviously the citrusy fruits. Man, it's good. I haven't had anything over 7%, so I'm doing good, but this is really good. This is crushable. And the story's good. I mean, you guys see my dino anywhere? Like, where's my dinosaur?
All right, guys, so guess what? Jeff's drinking a sour. That's right. This is a kettle sour, and it is called Lime in the Coconut. It is 6%, and, well, it's got lime, and it's got coconut. Funny story, I used to have a soap from Bath & Body Works that was coconut lime, and I used to love washing my hands because it was one of my favorite scents. Weird, yes, but I'm hoping this doesn't taste like soap. It smells great. Kettle sours, by the way, for those of you guys who don't know, it's basically the quick, easy way to make a sour beer that doesn't take a lot of time to age. It doesn't necessarily need the same like yeast profile that some other sours take. This brewery is still very new, so they obviously have not fully expanded their sour program. You cannot have sour beers in the same area as your normal beers because bacteria can infect it. So they need to work on actually expanding their program. It's got to be somewhere that's, clean, sanitary, very different. So anyways, lime and coconut, baby. Let's go. Cheers. Oh. You know, there's something about lime that I just really enjoy. Comparing it to like a lemon, the level of acidity is much lower. It's not like a puckering kind of fruit. And believe it or not, lemons and limes, I know they kind of get paired together, but they definitely have very different, unique flavors. And I'm telling you, even with that hand soap, something with lime and coconut together, they just go together really, really well. This sour base is really, really good as well. I'm surprised at 6%. I mean, that's not super high, but this is a very like sessionable flavored beer. It seems to go down really easy. The sourness level, so if you guys are wondering if it's like really acidic or like mouth puckery, it's not. It's got just a little bit of that sourness to remind you that you're drinking something with a lime in it. That's about it. If you guys have ever bit into a lime compared to a lemon, you don't really pucker from a lime. And that's the cool thing, is basically the sour profile in this mimics the same kind of feeling as biting into a lime, which I really like. Honestly, if you guys are on Oahu and you guys are sitting at the beach on North Shore and you want to crack open a beer and just have the island vibes, I feel like this is a really solid go-to that you could really enjoy, especially on a hot day. It's like 84 outside today, so it's one of those hot days. This is a thirst quencher, and when it comes to sours, typically it's kind of enamel stripping after you have a couple of them. I don't feel like this would be very enamel stripping. It's just sour enough, again, to remind you that it's a lime in there.
All right, guys, up next we have Killin' Me Smalls, which is a 12% Imperial Stout. As you can see, this is a big girl. This is a huge beer. Really excited to get into it. Not gonna lie, Jeff and I did have a can of it last night, and she's a big girl. But I'm super excited to actually try it here at the brewery. Quick backstory. This is a collaboration beer with a donut shop located here in Kaka'ako, here on Oahu. If you guys are familiar with Voodoo Donut on the mainland, I know they're located in Oregon, obviously. They have a location in, I think, Colorado, and then they have a location in Florida as well. And I even think they have a location in Korea, but very popular donut shop. This is Oahu's version of Voodoo Donut. So Purvey, they make all different types of donuts, and it's really cool and really awesome to see a brewery and an awesome donut shop collab and create this sweet, decadent creation that we have here. So let me get into the nose and let you guys know what we're dealing with here. So right out the gate on the nose, big chocolate, big toffee, caramel, little bit of coffee. But Jeff actually made a good point. One of the biggest ingredients in this beer is actually Teddy Grahams. And so for a lot of us, you know, we've obviously been kids before at least one time in our life. And we've had Teddy Grahams. So it's like opening up a bag of Teddy Grahams and you get that rush of like cinnamon and sweetness. This is what it smells like. So let's get into the taste. I already know it's gonna taste really decadent and really rich. Oh man. Oh. It might just be me, but when I try these Imperials, the first thing that comes to mind is breakfast. I get like pancake syrup, I get chocolate, like chocolate chip waffles. And another thing I was mentioning earlier is I don't know what it is. I get a little bit of blueberry as well. I don't know where that comes from. Obviously these Imperials are very fruit forward, you know, a lot of raisin, chocolate, toffee. And this is what I get with this beer. Now, this is a style that I love personally. I could drink it all day. I know that probably sounds funny, but you might catch me down at Waikiki drinking one of these like on a hot day. I love stouts. I don't care if it's snowing outside and I'm in Washington. I don't care if it's 100 degrees and I'm here in Waikiki. Like, this is just a style that I love. It's very rich, very decadent. The flavor profiles are off the charts. Next time you guys are here on Oahu, check out Purvey, really great donut shop. And this collaboration, like, spot on, like, chef's kiss. This is an amazing beer, like truly amazing decadent work.
All right, guys, so normally after all the tasters, we tell you guys our favorite beer of the day. It was so hard to pick our favorite, so I cheated and I went with nostalgia. You guys heard the story about Rooftop Pale Ale. So you understand, this is a 5.2% pale ale, and yeah, guess where we're at? We're on the rooftop. So we're gonna go ahead and drink it. Cheers.
Slancha.
Rooftop on the rooftop.
Rooftop on the rooftop. Guys, 5.2%. I mean, super low ABV, but it is not super low in flavor. The hop profile is fantastic on this. You are getting all the flavors that you want out of these hops. The malts are really well balanced. You know, I remember when like session IPAs were a thing. You don't see those anymore. This actually, just because of the like great hop utilization, it tastes like an IPA, but it drinks like super light and refreshing. The malt profile is completely balanced. It's delicious.
It's my favorite.
I was asking, I was like, what's the ABV on this? And she's like, oh, I just drink it. It doesn't matter. I just drink it. It's delicious.
It's there.
You know, for those of you guys who watch the channel, you've seen enough of it to understand that some of my favorite beers out there are the ones that remind me of a pleasant memory. And just hearing Chrissy's story, like being able to understand that like this has some real sentimental meaning and there's a real story behind it and it's a delicious beer. It's kind of hard not to pick this as your favorite, but to be honest, if you guys come to Oahu, come visit Hana Koa, try all their beer because they're all fantastic. If there's something you've never, like a style you've never tried before, you're afraid to try it, this is a place to try it. They definitely make a point to make every single beer special in its own little way. You guys heard some of the stories. There's literally stories behind every single beer. And this one is just extra special. So, and we're here on the rooftop. So thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thanks for sharing that with us. We'll see you guys for the outro.
Alright guys, thank you so much for joining us here in Kaka'ako, here at Hana Koa Brewing. This place makes amazing beer, amazing food, amazing drinks, everything. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, guys, I gotta tell you, this is our first stop for this little beer tour that I'm doing here in Oahu, and they set the bar really high. I gotta give a big thank you to Chrissy and the rest of the team here. You guys showed us a great experience. We enjoyed the beers, we enjoyed the stories. Just everything was just beautiful. It was great. We loved it.
Yeah. So if you guys enjoyed the content, please feel free to like, share, subscribe. We would greatly appreciate it. You know, we love beer, we love each other, we love life. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support that you showed Jeff, and we really hope that you guys enjoy this tour that we're continuing to take around Oahu. This is only stop number 1. I know they set the bar really high, but we're gonna hit some amazing places and we're excited to share that with you guys. And as always, we'll see you next time on
Let's have some beer. Cheers. Today, big things come in small packages. We are in our next stop on the brew tour in Oahu, and we are at Inu Island Ales. It may be small, but I hear really good things. So if you're interested, stay tuned.